Good morning and welcome back to my workshop. In the previous video we modified the bicycle frame for our wheel hoe, and today we will assemble the wheel hoe. Hello and welcome to One Step at a Time Farmstead. Join our family on our journey as we build a like-minded community while living life on our terms in accordance with our beliefs, our convictions, our desires, and above all, our faith in God and our God-given calling.
We promote a self-sufficient, self-sustaining lifestyle, especially with regard to fresh produce and fresh meat and the preservation thereof.
It is our objective to prove that this self-sufficient, sustainable, healthy, happy, and fulfilling lifestyle is possible, even in an urban setting, while adhering to various laws, rules, and regulations of our government.
Our ultimate vision and goal are to obtain and establish functional and profitable farm enterprises where we produce wholesome foods grown and raised according to our conviction in the way that God intended. In other words, organic, natural, chemical-free.
Furthermore, it is our aim to teach and train in the various principles of self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and food security. We foresee hosting, supporting, and sponsoring masterclass training workshops in accordance to our call to the ministry of God.
With your support, we know we can achieve these goals.
In the previous video, I also promised that I would make some implements or attachments, at least one, the oscillating hoe, for the wheel hoe, and I did that. Here you can see my oscillating wheel hoe, my oscillating hoe attachment, and I did film the build of it, but my attention was so focused on the designing and building of the hoe attachment that, you know, the footage is really it's really bad. I mean, the camera angle is all wrong. You couldn't really see what I was doing at some points, and also the camera battery life ran out at a point and I didn't notice. So my attention really wasn't with, you know, the camera. It was completely focused on trying to figure out how to design and build, you know, this oscillating hoe. I did capture some footage and I'll play that along right here now while I explain to you what I did. So today I'll try to make at least one implement, an oscillating hoe, and see if I can move on to some others. Okay, to build the oscillating hoe, I needed a piece of pipe, 2 pieces of square tubing, 2 pieces of channel, and a piece of flat bar. Okay, so what I did is to cut the pipe to my desired length, and you can decide whether you want it a foot or smaller, couple of inches, depending on what your purpose will be. I am going to build another one that's going to be about 100 mils wide, so that I can also clean up in the bed between the different rows. So if there's a plant and there's a plant, that I can actually hoe between them as well. But this one here is basically for an entire row. It's a little bit over a foot long, but it's going to work perfectly for what I have in mind. So I've got my square tubing cut to size, and my pipe, and then on each side I just welded a piece of square tubing like that, and that is to form the arch that was to form the arch of the hoe. I also took another piece of pipe that I welded in a T-shape to this, and this will be the shaft that actually attaches to my wheel hoe. Then I drilled through both pieces of square tubing, a hole, so that I could attach the blade to it. The blade I made from a flat bar, and the ends I just bent to a 90 degree, also drilled a hole, and that will serve as a bracket to attach to the arch with a nut and a bolt. Okay, and basically the square tubing was put over that, and with the blade running there, also with a hole through it to attach it, and that just serves as a stop for my blade so it doesn't rotate completely. It just gives that oscillating action to it, and that's as simple as that is. So here's and I also just sharpened the edges of the blade a bit. Okay, yeah, so there's my oscillating hoe attachment for my wheel hoe. Now let's get to assembling this wheel hoe. Okay, so here we have the modified frame. Something that you didn't see on camera is when I placed this bar over here. What happened is after I bolt the wheel hoe, the oscillating hoe, I just quickly wanted to test it out loosely to see whether it would work. Okay, and I took it off to the garden, and I went a bit, and I actually got to a piece of thick grass, and with the force I actually broke down the pipe here again. So I had to basically weld this part over again, and I also then took a piece of pipe that I welded to that just to give more structural integrity to this bolt. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is to place the wheel. So the first thing that we are going to do is to attach the wheel, and that we will do with its normal, the nuts from the wheel and wrenches. So, that wheel stood in the rain for quite some time. Okay, so after that fun mishap, let's continue. And also just make sure that your wheel is aligned with the frame for ease of work in the garden. Okay, and here we will attach the oscillating hoe. Maybe I should just lubricate all this as well. And there we have it, folks. As easy as that. I kept this clamp over here that came with the bicycle. It just makes it a lot easier for, you know, quickly changing out the different attachments. However, you don't need it. You can always just drill 2 holes through and, you know, bow through this piece and your attachment, and as soon as it's in, lock it in place with a bolt and a nut, which is what I would do here in front. But I like this for quickly changing out my different attachments, from the oscillating hoe to the cultivator to the furrowing plow or the edging plow. But those are all implements that I still need to build. So you can join me in the garden when I test it out, but I will also need to do some finishing up touches. So I just want to basically, before I do any finishing up on this build, I just want to test it out and see how it works. But that is it for our video today. Thank you very much for spending time with me again today. I hope you found value in this video, seeing that you can build something functional to help your efficiency out of scrap that is just lying around. Before I continue with my videos on the hoe though, I first need to fix my angle grinder. I broke that yesterday, and I need to fix our brush cutter. Yeah, it's time for some repairs and maintenance on things that I need to give attention to first. But please, if you find value in this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends and families, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates. I appreciate you watching and spending time with me. God bless you. Goodbye.